hear that other places are bad-mouthing them. That's the greatest tribute. For those people who bad-mouth me, they are very jealous of me. And that's the way it goes. John, one day, maybe they'll say bad things about you. And then you know, hey, kid, look at me now, Ma, I made it. And you might be one of the 2,000 Montrealers. Maybe they might jump ahead to another 1,000. We'll be moving out of these studios shortly. I'm going to miss this place. I got used to it because it's really nice. You know, Verdun's excellent, and you're near metros and everything, and Georgie Porgy's around the corner. Hey, John, you went into there and you bought some poutine, and the guy said to say hello to me? Yes or no, you did not say hello to me, did you? You didn't pass that. Yes, 3 weeks. No, you did not. What did you say to me? Come on the air and say it.
I told you that George over at Normand Patat had said hello.
No.
I did, too.
No.
I did.
Play the tape for me. Everything is taped here. Even when you go to the bathroom, everything is taped here. Some guys sing in the bathroom. Do you know that?
Yes.
I saw him the other night, and he said, did you get regards from me and Despina? Despina? And I said, no. He said, what's the matter with that guy, no, he's George. What's the matter with that guy, John? He's a steady customer. I said, he's all right. John's all right. No, I'm starting to wonder, John. Maybe you're having delusions. Maybe this is the right city for you. Kingston is excellent for a rest home, you know. Did Winnipeg do this to you? You went home to Winnipeg, right? You stood there on Portage in Maine and you said, why would I leave? Look at me now, Ma. Look at me now. You saw all your buddies. They're all doing well. They're not millionaires. There's no such thing as a millionaire. They're all billionaires. How old are you now? About 40, 50, 60? 66? Older than older than Finney? Older than Mr. Finney. He's in Vancouver now. Still keeps counting those checks, those pension checks. All right, let's go to David. David, are you there, David? Hello.
Hi, Ted. How are you?
David?
Yes.
That's no way to start a conversation with me tonight.
Okay. How about I'm not an imposter? I wrote you an email a little while ago, and I'm calling back as you requested so that you can answer some questions, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm calling from Toronto, and I'll just refresh your memory.
You don't have to. I remember.
Okay, great.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a memory.
Okay.
You moved to Toronto. You missed the show. You don't know why you moved there. You wrote me a letter. You talked to your friends about me and so on, and you miss it.
That's correct.
That's the gist of it. And that's about 2 months ago that you sent this.
Right.
Yeah. I get a lot of that from Toronto. You know that you guys who moved from Montreal, you must laugh in their general direction. I met a guy here who came for the fireworks, a former Montrealer, and he moved to Toronto. And he made a big score there, he said. He sold his interest in a bagel company, and he made a score. You know what a score is?
I believe I do.
Money, a lot of money.
Right.
They had to change from making the bagel in Toronto the way they make it here at Dad's Bagel, for example, by hand in wood-burning ovens. They had to make it with a machine because the mooches in Toronto didn't like the handmade bagels.
Right. The bagels are better in Montreal.
They tried to bring Montreal bagel to Toronto. The Torontonians said, what is this? Oh, no, we don't like this.
There are a lot of Montrealers here that want bagels.
No, I'm talking about Torontonians. The mooches from Toronto. And promise me one thing, that you're not a Blue Jay fan. Because when I see Fregosi sitting there lying through his teeth about some barroom brawl, and Dave Hodge is a good guy. Dave's right on him, asking him all these questions. And then on comes Cito Gaston. This is on the Toronto Sports Network, by the way.
TSN?
Called TSN, the Toronto Sports Network. Do you know that one night they came on and said, unfortunately, the Expos defeated Toronto?
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear it?
No, I don't believe it.
They said it. I thought that Stephen Brofman, when he started to do something and invested in TSN, would have all that changed. Poor Michael Whalen's a voice in the wilderness. Here's a man with class. You understand?
Yes.
And you got to put up with that nonsense? With Gino, the Dino? It's all Toronto. Now you turn on the Weather Channel here. You know, Montreal doesn't exist on this national weather channel. They move, first of all, they spend 20 minutes out west. West, only Vancouver. That's west. And Vancouverites don't call themselves Westerners. Winnipeggers do. Calgarians do. And mooches from Edmonton do. But if you're living in Vancouver, in that area, Whistler and so on, you're not a Westerner. You're living there, you see? So they spend 20 minutes in that area. They don't even know that Calgary or Edmonton exists. Regina is not even on the map. They switch over to a little burg called Kingston. And they give you the weather from Kingston to Toronto in 35 minutes. I'm watching this. Then, when they get to Quebec, and they say, oh yeah, and then Quebec it'll be, and now to the Maritimes, no cities mentioned. They don't mention Fredericton, but they're afraid of Newfoundland, because Paul from Newfoundland may revolt and call the Smallwood heirs and say, let's separate. That's your Weather Channel. So now you got the TSN.
Well, if
I hope you're taping this thing, because I want your moochy friends from Toronto to understand what we think of them.
Okay. I'm just the messenger.
Well, you tell them.
I personally...
You want a copy of this tape?
I have a copy of it. It's being taped as we speak.
Right now?
Yes.
Well, that's what I asked you. You said you're only the messenger.
Well, there's this...
I asked you a serious question, and there was no answer. You become like them. You sit on the subway, and you probably don't even smile. You see a good-looking chick, you don't even wink at her. Here, we try to pick them up.
There are no good-looking chicks up here.
Well, there must be. There must be some Salvation Army girls that look good.
Oh, that's possible, but I haven't seen any.
I was on a bus with Count X.
Count X?
Yes.
He's not in Las Vegas right now?
No, he's back and forth. Right now, I'll tell you where he is. In Aurelia.
Okay, at Casino Rama.
Yeah, Casino Rama. He went up there and he rented a log cabin. And he's with the Countess. Do you understand?
Wonderful.
All right. Now, here we are. We get on a bus to take us because there was no parking. So we get on a bus. I wind up with two beautiful young ladies, one for him and one for me. And you know what he does? Because he's better looking than I am. He grabbed them both.
Okay.
You understand? But in Toronto, this wouldn't happen.
That's right. That's why I was...
They were going to play slot machines. They weren't not looking to be picked up by two guys. But, you see, I'm smooth with them, you know. I really got them for him because I'm very faithful to my beloved infidel.
Giving and loyal.
I am very, very loyal. Loyal. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. Plus, she's rich.
Why wouldn't you want a rich lady?
Well, no, I don't care that she is.
Money isn't important to you?
Not at all. She I knew a young lady one time. You know what she wanted? I never told you this. Ever. I'm saying to you, meaning plural. There was a young lady wanted certain things for me to do, certain things, and legal, and there would be nothing the matter with it. I said, I can't. She said, well, because I'd like to buy you a radio station. I said, you want to buy me a radio station? You know how much a radio station cost in the smallest city in this country? She said, yeah. I'd like to buy one right here in Montreal for you. And they're always for sale, you know. If the price is right, you give them $1 more and they buy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's for sale. But I couldn't do what she asked me. And she was a very nice young lady. But I couldn't do it. Because I have my own principles. You understand?
Yes.
That doesn't mean that they're right. But in Toronto, it must have been a good job that took you there. Now, what are you doing there?
Collect money.
You're making money.
Collect money. I collect from businesses. I collect money for the Southern Group.
Oh, I see. Ah, right. Okay, it's a good job then.
That's a pretty good job.
Yeah, otherwise I know a guy like you, David's not going to go.
That's correct.
Am I right?
I left after the last referendum, Ted.
After we won it, though.
That's correct.
There'll never be another one. Don't even think about it.
I hope not.
It's all over with the nurses' strike here and this and that.
Taxi drivers, pretty upset today.
Where?
At Dorval Airport.
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah. Well, I thought maybe they got upset in Toronto.
Would it be okay to ask you a couple of these questions?
Go ahead.
Okay. Obviously.
So you lived here?
Yeah, I lived there for my whole life, and I used to listen to you when you were at CFCF on Ogilvy and with Dan McGarity and the Count, and when you had the Creechmans on, and I went through all the years. I'm 32 now, so I've been listening for quite some time.
The late Eddie the Brain with... Oh, I'm glad I made peace with him, before he died, but this guy was... he was over the top. He was ahead of his time, you know that, eh?
Okay.
I mean, he was ahead of his time.
I didn't know that. I only heard the aftermath of him being in the studio.
Well, I'll never forget there at CFCF Thanksgiving Day. I got a woman on talking about how to cook a turkey, and he appears at the door, and he told the guards there, because we had tight security there at CFCF 405 Ogilvy, he told the guards that I'd invited him. So they believed him. In he comes with his son, Floyd.
That's right.
Pretty boy, Floyd. And Floyd is yelling, Daddy, let's get Tevan's. McGarity called security. McGarity's mother is calling to ask him if he's all right. Yes, I'm all right. And he hung up the phone on her. The cops are at the back door, and they're sitting on him, and he's still screaming, Tevan's is a bomb. We made him. Yes, Daddy. Floyd is saying this, you see? Floyd. Yes, Floyd. Pretty boy Floyd. Oh, I'll tell you, Eddie, the Brain Creechman, was ahead of his time. Because he would be on coast-to-coast international television now. He would make Vince, the Prince McMahon, look like a choir boy. Because he was real. He was a monster.
He passed away, a decade ago? But
Yeah. I'm glad I made peace with him because, and his son is, I call his son a sardine brain, and I remember I saw him in a restaurant. I said, send that sardine brain a sardine sandwich. And Floyd said, look, Daddy, look, I got a sardine sandwich. You know how big a sardine's brain is?
I would imagine it's quite small.
Must be very small, and pretty boy Floyd, he ate it. He was happy. Oh, wow. I had Sailor White with me, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a wrestler.
Well, I was fearless. You kidding? You got these guys with you. I had the late Johnny Rougeau with me. You know, who are these guys today? They're nothing. They're nothing. Hulk Hogan is something. Stone Cold is something.
Jesse the Body Ventura?
Ah, he's something. Yeah, it's too bad that he had to become a politician, because that's a shame for a man of his dignity and class to become a politician when he was one of the best world wrestling guys. I know a guy tried to wrestle. He went there for a tryout. 5 minutes later, he was gone. He couldn't do it. When he saw a guy on the ropes ready to jump on his neck, while he's on his back, he escaped with his life. Yeah. So how's this interview going so far?
Pretty well.
Yeah, I thought so.
when you came from Napanee. And
Napanee? I'm not from Napanee. Napanee's a nice place.
I
But
apologize.
Napanee is like a little place outside Kingston.
Right.
It's got 21 people. Kingston's got 60,000 people. The top medical school in Canada now. It has surpassed McGill. Thank you.
Okay. I apologize. You're from Kingston, then?
I am born in Kingston of immigrant parents who I am the firstborn in this free democracy. I journeyed to this province. I became a Quebecer. I have been named one of the 1,000 Canadians, but no, Montrealers in the history of Montreal. It goes back to Samuel D. Champlain. Now, that's a great honor. I created the Montreal Expo's French radio network. I'm proud of all that. Not bad for a little Jewish kid coming from Kingston of immigrant parents. But I was never told I wouldn't amount to anything, never. I was told that one day I might be the prime minister of this country. I was encouraged. You understand?
Yes.
Next.
Well, I just wanted to know, okay, you're in Kingston, you're in Montreal. At that time...
Not Napanee. I don't know where you got Napanee.
I heard you mention it at one time.
Napanee is outside Kingston on the way to Toronto.
Okay, I'll scratch that from the log. I just wanted to know who...
What, do I owe you money or something? Because you said you were a collector. Maybe you're just sucking me in right here.
No, not... I don't see anything on our computers here. You seem to be pretty clear.
All right, punch me up. Tevan, T-E-V-A-N.
Okay.
Are you with Dun & Bradstreet, by the way?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because I'm with Dun & Bradstreet. They're my people.
Okay, that's who you're rated with, I guess, or...
Well, they're my people.
Okay.
You understand? Oh, yeah.
You've got a AAA rating as far as I can see here.
Oh, yeah.
Who were your influences before you actually went into broadcasting? Whose style? I mean, I know you're completely unique, but you must have heard other...
I'm not completely unique. I'm either unique or I'm not unique. Unique stands by itself. It needs no adjective.
Right.
Like a guy phoned me the other night, and he called me an adjective and a Jew.
Okay.
I said, yes, I am a Jew. We are the first people to believe in one God. The Armenians are the first Christians to believe in one God, but I'm not that adjective that you used, and I gave him enough rope until he hanged himself.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
What was the question?
Well, I just was wondering who your influences were before you got into broadcasting on the radio.
I had no influence because I had no power. I had no influence. I knew that I was never going to be like Lauren Green, because I had heard him on recordings long before, well, he was on Ponderosa, right?
Yeah, on Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza. But I heard recordings of him when he was with CBC Radio from many, many years before. Now, I heard this as a teenager, and I said, well, this game's not for me, because this guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
I can't emulate him. So I went into the business end of the broadcast racket. I mean, in the industry. You understand?
Yes.
And then I decided I got enough of this shirt and tie and all these 3-hour lunches in Montreal and this and that and so on. I want to be where the actions, where the bullets are flying and the bazookas are being shot like with Jake in Korea. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I want to go on the radio. So I went on the radio. And the rest is history, because then I was anointed as the natural, and I am the greatest. And there's nothing I can do about that, nor is it disputable.
I agree with that.
It is not. There's no way other than to say it like it is.
You've done thousands of shows. Would you do anything differently now that you've been in the business for over 30 years?
I wouldn't do one thing differently. I would never lie, cheat, or steal on the air. I never have, and I never will, because the people are very bright out there, and the voice is the greatest musical instrument in the world, and if you lie, the people like you can tell. You can give yourself away so easily. Your voice, if you're trying to be something or tell a story that is not true, the people will see that you have no integrity whatsoever. So I'm often imitated, duplicated, but I'm the only one. And they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so be it.
I just have one other question.
Anything.
Okay. And I just wanted to say that I thank you very much for answering, and also John, I talked to him off the air. He's a great guy as well.
He is.
What do you think of shock jocks like Howard Stern is still on the radio up here? Do you have any comments on his style or anything like that, or how do you feel about that type of radio?
Well, that's excellent, okay? I said that this city does not deserve Howard Stern and Ted Tevan. I actually said that, and they printed it in I think, the Montreal Mirror.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is Howard Stern's got a tremendous amount of talent, and he's misunderstood, and he is what we call a shock jock. So he talks about body parts. I don't. He's there for entertainment. If they can take it in the United States of America, who are these do-gooders here who forced him off the air and forced Chum to take him off the air, because CKGM and Chum are owned by Chum Limited, and yet we laugh at Toronto, because I am from Ontario. We laugh at the United Empire loyalists of Toronto and Ontario, and yet he's still on in Toronto. I give you credit for that, because he should still be on here, because he became too big competition for the other morning men in this city. French Canadians were listening to him. Any language was listening to him, because he is a success. He's a raging success. And the more success that you have, if you bring it too much to their attention, that's why I don't praise myself much, you see? I don't want anybody to know how good I really am.
Right.
Because then they'll be after me. But he let it all hang out. And he's great.
Well, many people think that you have more talent. Like, I enjoy Stern, but I think that you have a little bit more talent because you don't have to go for the other type of humor as much, and you can still be extremely entertaining.
Well, that
my opinion.
I can't agree with you. No, I cannot agree with you, because that would be saying that Pete Rose is not the greatest hitter of all time in baseball because he was not a home run hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yeah.
That would be. You see, Stern and Tevan have two different styles. Two different styles, both entertaining. Big audiences, very entertaining. I get under the skin of critics. Critics have tried to ruin me. There was a guy who shot his entire ammunition years ago trying to get me out of CFCF. I'll never forget, I was in New York for the Belmont Stakes. It was in the late 70s when I had 47% of every set in use. It'll never be ever touched again. That is a record that will never be touched. 47%. And he said that I was a shame to the industry, to the city, and he begged CFCF to get rid of me.
Where is he now?
I don't know. I have no idea. His name is Walter Peranovich. I have no idea. Anyhow, I want to thank you for calling, and
thank you.
And I think John wants to talk to you. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
David, anytime that you want to call and you want another interview, and I'm sure that you have other questions too.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
Okay.
But you have to call collect.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Hold on.
Okay.
David is there, and we're out of time right now. Tomorrow, Jim Pop will be here. Graham Mitchell will be here with our Alouette football show immediately after the Expos. I'm Ted Tevan, and here's little Shirley Temple.
Good night.